or whatever, to be honest.
Cool. Three, two,
Who's
one.
entering?
I will.
Alright.
Alright. Three, two, one. What's going on, guys? It's Luke and Casper from the Livecast, and we are doing another episode of the podcast. And I mean, I don't even know what number we're on, so don't quote me. But we're here, live in the
Isn't this
flesh.
like 25 or 26?
I'm putting up the thing now. I always do this. I should just have it on all the time. It's 24,
Sure.
number
Damn.
24. So yeah, it
Did
feels.
you count? Did you count the one with Azana's podcast?
I count it as like a conspiracy talk, which is, I guess, separate from everything. I don't know. We can see how it works if we want to make it like a common thing or episode. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we could do so much conspiracy talks, like the how the Happy Hour podcast does theirs.
Yeah, 100%.
Because obviously, like they did all of theirs in like individual ones, like kind of like case studies. But I think I'd rather do like a whole podcast discussing it.
Yeah, I'd definitely be down for that.
We can cover like literally a lot of topics, and I mean, there's so many so many things that everything branches off of. But yeah, what you been up to,
Yeah.
boy? I think it feels like a minute since we've been on a Discord call.
Yeah, it has. I've been a very busy boy, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel that.
I've been
Same.
a very, very busy person. Um, I've just been working.
Yeah, same. It just like now you realize it takes up a lot of your time when you work like a full day and like back to back
That
days.
is fucking long, man.
It's horrible. What?
What's your what hours do you work at your work when you normally work?
8:30 till 5.
Yeah, so me and you run the same hours basically, bro. Tell me about it. It's so fucking draining,
Trust
man.
me. Like you get home and it's
How long's your break at
an
work?
hour.
Yeah, me and you have the same day basically then.
It's quite long, and it's like for anyone that does have a job, whatever. Like for me, I'm like a motivated person and stuff. But when I get home, there's so much that I want to do, but I don't do anything because of it, because I just don't know what to do. Like
Yeah.
not even because of like, oh, your time management bad. Like my time management is incredible, like throughout A level and GCSE year, but when it comes to real life and like having some sort of like grind or a side hustle business or just even just actually doing stuff, I don't know what to do because I can't let my mind go at ease for this kind of thing. Like I can't just like turn off or like have nothing to do. Like it's hard. I don't know. Just weird.
My 100% I do. I do now understand that, and it's fucking long,
Exactly.
really.
Like let's say for me, when I was going to and from the office, I'd go to the gym and I'd come back. We would record a podcast or meme reaction video or whatever. After that, edit, record, and then I'd have like an extra 2 hours or so, and I wouldn't know what to do. And I would probably just spend time watching like a motivational video, or like I would just I don't know what I would do because it's actually really hard.
I guess I'm quite lucky that I never really fell out with gaming.
Yeah,
Like, for me, once I'm back from work, like, I do whatever I need to. So, like, for example, when me and you sit down for a podcast or whatever, like, I prioritize that. But then after I'm done with, or like when I had my essay, oh mate, I'm telling you, the past 2 weeks, work combined with my essays has been literally, bro, everyone quarantined like, oh, going to sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, not everyone, but you know, most people are like, oh, I'm going to sleep ballet, waking up ballet. That was me as well, to be fair, before I had a job. But now it was like there was in the past like 2 weeks where I had two essays during. There were points in my day where I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, get to the bus stop for like 7:30 to catch the H22, go to work, spend 8 till 5 at work, come back from work. I'll be home at like 5:30, and then I would literally sit down or make food because my mom's at work as well. So she doesn't have a lot of time to like cook and stuff as well.
yeah,
So a lot of the times I'd be making my own food. So I'd come home, make food, then at like 6 o'clock sit down to do my essay till like 10 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evening, 10:30. Go take a shower. It's 11 o'clock. Bed. Like
It's mad, innit?
I'd literally have the only free time I had during the day is my hour break at lunch, and while I'm making food.
It's it's hard, innit?
It was long. It was long. That's why, like, I'm so glad I don't have, like, now that I'm working, like, I'll have money saved up for next year, so I just don't have to work at uni. And I'm so blessed I don't have to work at uni, because if I had to do this, like, every weekend at uni, oh man, I'd fucking cry. Like, it's so draining.
It,
But yeah, now, like, on a free day, like, I'll just like do whatever I need to. So for example, like, if me and you agree to do a podcast, I'm like, I'll do a podcast with you.
yeah,
If we like, decide to do another video, but then I just like sit down and go play like Warzone or FIFA or whatever with my mates, and for like 2 3 hours, and then just go to bed. It's just my
it's weird,
like,
innit? It
it's
just
just like my decompressor.
it's like life just, I guess, catches up to you really quickly. But you know what I mean? It just like when you stop having to do certain things, it's like, oh shit, you don't actually have as much time or like motivation to do things. Not to say that neither of us are motivated at all, but you know, like things take priority, and it's like, oh my god, I gotta do this and that, and then before you know it, like you got like a million things to do.
Yeah, it's like I work Saturdays as well, so I literally I work 6 days a week and get one day off. One day is not enough.
Trust me, even the weekend's not enough in my opinion.
Yeah, well there you go. Imagine having one day shorter weekends every week. So
Well, gee, and during A levels, I had no days off for like a whole year.
yeah, the
Monday,
school's a bit different.
yeah, but still, it's still
No,
24.
I
Like
get it. It was
revising
still.
wasn't easy by
Oh
any
yeah,
means.
well yeah, revision. But you quit your job by the time you have to revise. So.
Like a month
But
before, yeah.
even then, work and school are two different things.
No,
Like
exactly.
school, it was like what, like 8 fucking like 50. You start your first lesson
Mm.
till 3. Not even because A level you could like go home early or whatever most days.
Yeah, but I'm saying like we were still studying every day, and like there was still intensity to your day. Like you was oh shit, like there's exams coming, all that shit, and
Oh,
it's like
you was studying, bro.
yeah,
But
reflect.
work is completely different. I think we can
Of
both
course,
attest to that.
school has
Especially,
no
I don't know,
play.
like I don't know how. Obviously, I've not worked your job, but you haven't worked my job, so it's like
Mm.
it's hard to like it's hard for me to put myself into your shoes, and it's hard for you to put yourself into my shoes, because it's like we do two different jobs. It's like yours is like mentally very straining. It's like you're always doing something, but
Yeah,
not physically, but you're always having to keep on top of like phone calls or whatever and shit like
yeah,
that.
trust. Like
Whereas
just
I do like some very mind-numbing work, like for example painting, but it's still I'm doing 8 hours of physical like manual labor every day.
yeah, it's not. It's definitely
I'm
physically taxing rather than mentally.
always on my feet, always like either painting something or like or like moving something or like fixing something, just always doing something, like walking around. So it's like our two jobs, like although they're polarized, and like at the end of the day they're both still like taxing. It's just
Yeah,
you
trust.
have more like you'd come home not be I don't know physically tired, but you'd definitely be mentally like drained.
Oh yeah, trust.
Whereas I'm physically tired. Like I've done a lot of exercise, but I'm mentally fine. I'm like I want to do this, I want to do that, but then my body is like I can't be bothered.
Yeah, it's like there's mind over matter sort of thing, and it's like if you were to do what I was to do and I was to do what you do, it's like it's like
It would
completely
be,
opposite, and
yeah,
it's just
like
such, it's so
your body would be
taxing.
so confused.
Because for me, I've got hundreds of different things happening in projects, or I actually have to call people, or like get in
Yeah,
contact and
exactly.
stuff,
So
and
you're always having to keep on top of
it's like I have
everything.
to think about things like that you wouldn't tend to think about, or just like
Yeah.
when
Whereas
you,
I,
yeah,
from the sounds of like the way I could explain my job, today all I was doing was just painting rooms and listening to music.
yeah,
That doesn't sound hard, but after 8 hours of constant like movement and like on your feet, and you have like it doesn't even sound that deep, but it like paint
sounds like
like
fun,
I
innit?
painted, I painted 3 different rooms today.
Yeah,
I painted like a massive like boiler cupboard thing, and like I did a couple repairs on like doors and stuff using like wood filler and shit. Like that doesn't sound like a lot, but once you actually put that fucking big like paint roller in your hand and have to start fucking rolling up and down the fucking the wall, and like we're talking about rooms the size of like living rooms and shit, and you're constantly on your feet painting and shit. It's like it doesn't sound hard, but I'd love to see someone try to do it well as well.
trust that there's two different types of people that do the job. There's people that just do it, and people that do it well, and one person will get
What
one place in life and the other will remain in the same place, and like the
is
the work ethic sorry the work effort you have now
yes,
will transfer
yeah.
into uni and post uni life. When you get like that you go into your profession, you actually start your working career. It's just going to transfer. Like it'll keep you diligent for your years to come.
I'm I'm a bit of a weird kind of person because it's like I'm one of the biggest like um I'm like probably one of the most lazy people you'll meet. Like genuinely, like half the shit I want to do I can't be asked to do it.
Yeah.
But once I so I'm like I love like procrastinating. I'm a massive procrastinator. Like but then once I've actually decided to do something, I'm a perfectionist.
Mm,
Like
I love
what
that.
like my mentality is like, okay, well if I've bothered to do this,
Might as well
I
put your
might
all.
as well put 110% in.
Yeah,
Because what's the point of not like if I've bothered myself to do this, let's do it. And what pisses me off about my job right now is the house we're doing up is like a rent house. So the owner doesn't really care that much. So we've been given a really short deadline. We have a month to like paint this whole like 3 floor house, and that's just simply not enough time to do everything like well. Because I work with this guy who's like in his mid 50s,
oh
and
yeah, that
like
guy.
yeah, and he's been working in like in this industry for like the past like 15 years or whatever. So like he's an expert compared to me, and I'm like, well, I'm like, so like for example, you gotta paint like of like depending on the previous color of the wall and the state of the wall, like how dirty and shit it is, that you need a different set of like coats. So it's like different layers.
Yeah.
So how many layers you need to put on the wall in order for it to look good. And so for example, on like in the loft, while we were doing the loft, all I had to do was 2 coats. So I had to paint the room 2 times.
Mhm.
But for example, because how shit like the paint is, the color of the paint, and how it contrasts with the walls in another room, for example, we had to put 4 coats on. So I had to
Bloody
paint the
hell.
same room 4 times just for it to look good. But and then some places I'm like, oh, maybe we should paint this again, or maybe we should do this for it to look nicer. And he simply just tells me, this is like we're quote on like reverse like yeah inverted like quotations, we're refreshing the house. So we're just painting it so it looks nice again. We're not doing a full
Job.
a full like done up of the house. And it's like and every time I'm like, this doesn't look as good as it could. He's like, oh well, like we're only like refreshing it. If you wanted to actually spend time and like do it all really well, we'd be here for three times as
Yeah.
long. But we don't have the time for that.
Do you know what kind of house it is? Is it like a HMO? So there's like multiple bedrooms within that house, and there's like a communal kitchen,
Um,
or
well,
is it
yeah,
like
it's
a one family house? Like, you know what I mean? Could you tell
no,
from being in there?
it's probably one family, I'd say.
Yeah, given the
It's
location
like
it's in as well, I'd assume so actually.
it's no, yeah, 100% it is. It's there's three bedrooms on the first floor, one of them being a box room. So like a small room, like quite like it's a very small room. One of them's the master bedroom, and one of them's like just a normal like bedroom. And then upstairs you have the loft, which is an ensuite room.
Yeah,
So you technically have four bedrooms.
that could possibly be a HMO just from like you saying there's the ensuite up top as well. Like
Yeah,
that could be a like that house in the location that could be making like 3 to 4 grand a month. Not
yeah, the
profit,
rent's like
but
4.5K.
yeah, that's fucking mad. If that's one family, that's crazy stonks. Like the family's either making stonks or it's a HMO, which is like each room is rented out per person. So
Nah, it's probably like a normal just family house.
that's so much money for rent though. The bloody hell. Imagine
Yeah,
I don't make that
but
a
if
month, like Jesus Christ.
but not hardly anyone makes that
Mm-mm.
month. Um, but if you're living by the Thames, like in like a location like that, then
Everything's amplified. The cost is just mad.
yeah, the yards are like 1.7 mil.
Oh crap.
Yeah.
How does so here's a question. How does your dad have these clients, or is it is he works for
It's
someone that connects?
it's through connections. My dad doesn't work for anyone. He's self-employed,
Yeah.
but he just takes jobs up from people.
Okay.
So he knows this woman. She's got quite a nice job. So basically, what this woman does is she has clients that own houses in the UK or like in the area, like our area, so West London, and she has her like clients that are owners of houses that live in different countries.
Okay.
And so what she does is she manages the houses for them. So she'll have say 20 clients, so she has to manage 20 houses, and then everything that's like either wrong with the place or like needs to be done or whatever goes to her, and then she contacts the owner, and then the owner she's like she's the intermediate like the mediatory person between
Yeah,
them.
she's like a
And so she takes care of the house, and then so for example, like when people move out, so like in this situation right now, when people move out, the house needs to be refreshed for the next tenants.
yeah,
So her job would be to get a crew. So she knows my dad, so she got some people from my dad, so me and this guy. And then so she gets them, she pays us, we do it up, and then that's it. Like she gets paid by the owners of the houses to be like the person that like takes care of the houses, and like if there's any problems, like
yeah.
sorts the problems out and stuff. She's that person there, whereas like the owner of the house that we're working with lives in Australia, so
That's that's mad. I
ca-
mean, what you've
they
just
can't
described,
kind of can't really do anything, can they?
true say, what you've just described is how like our business works. The one I'm working for is like we have a client. It's like how your dad, the person that finds him job, that girl, like basically the person that owns the house is like the client. The lady's the middleman, and then your dad's like the contractor or whatever. You know what I mean? Like the one that does the
Yeah,
work, like the supplier, pretty much. So
yeah,
in my business context, I'm that lady. Like we are the middleman. Like we connect
yeah,
X to Y, for example, and it's quite weird because there's so much back and forth that goes on, which is like that's
yeah,
just a stress in itself. Like
But
obviously different context and stuff, but
yours must be a lot more complicated because for us it's literally just the fact. So for example, if I need more paint, which I do, I call my dad.
mm,
He calls her. She then calls the paint people or the people at the paint shop, and then we get paint delivered. That's how the relationship works. We need something, we contact her. She then comes to check the progress every week. If everything's satisfactory, then money's paid out. Really, that's really it.
that's
And
fair
then
enough. I mean, that's how, yeah.
yeah, so
It's
it's just a
just
lot more simplified, I think, because it's not that deep.
this
Especially
is
when you're
why.
doing a job, especially when you're doing a job like what we're doing, which is literally just painting and like making minor repairs or whatever.
That's why I want to get into the building industry, because not to say oh it's easier. That's not exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying like from a project manager perspective, like it's not easy, but it's more for me like relatable because you're making something tangible. So you see, like with you, you're gonna have a obvious point A and point B. Like you come in, it might have needed a refurb. Now after your work's done, it's like oh crap, this place has had some serious hard work put into it, and you can kind of see the fruits of your labor.
Yeah, so it's like, and then obviously it's not like the project manager job is nice, but you just gotta be really organized because you can't live off only having one. Like you can't just have one job unless it's like a
No,
multi-million
of
pound
course.
job.
Nah,
But
exactly.
if you're
Like
doing like small,
one second.
like 5-10 grand ones, I guess I'll just keep talking to the podcast. Yeah, if you're making like a 5 or 10 grand kind of job, then obviously a project manager only earns like 5% or 10% of it or whatever. But like
Sorry,
if
I'm
you
bad.
have a multi-million, I was just like explaining like, so obviously if like you're a project manager that has like one project that's like a 10K job.
But it depends how long it lasts. Like it's quite.
Well, yeah, that too. But it's like if you have a 10, like if you have a 10, yeah. But like I don't know what also would be better, like one really high profile, like multi-million pound job, or like multiple small ones where you just make income here and there, but you don't really do much except
Um,
write emails and deliver paint.
here's from my perspective. Like just because obviously I'm doing it, like, and I'm researching into
Yeah.
where I want to go. So these really big, let's say like £1 million, five. I say big is like over 100K, but you know like depends on the context. So let's say 500 to a million. They will be paid between like 350 to £500 a day for like working on like those projects, and like the contract they will get like a bonus or like sort
It's
of
like
incentive.
it's usually around like 5% of the jobs, isn't it, or something like that.
I
The project manager
I
gets
couldn't I couldn't tell you, but
something along those lines.
then there's like say that these smaller projects, but let's say you're working for a firm, because they're getting the cash flow from their clients and stuff, they can pay you a salary, and then the salary will probably be different against the contract of like a 6 to 12 month big project, like the £1 million one, for example. Like
Yeah.
the things have their own like nuances and stuff, and I feel like it depends how you want to work, whether you want to be
Well, yeah.
in a secure like place of employment, or you're chasing contracts and proving like you're a top tier PM, which is like they have their pros and cons. You can think about it before, like I've even said it, like there's bare points that can bloom based on what I just said. So it depends what kind of person you are.
Yeah, so it's just like I definitely, if I was in a position of being a project manager, I'd much rather be like self-employed. I think
Yeah, same.
that you choose which jobs and that, because it's like, because for example, I like the way I know these kind of people work is like they'll have their clients and their clients pay them a salary.
Yep.
So it's like instead of working for one group, you work for different people. So it's like you get an income from all of these kind of people. So which is like a nice safety net as well, because like imagine your company for some reason like dies or like loses a lot,
Yeah.
and you have to take a pay cut. That's peak, innit?
Very.
But here you're earning a salary from multiple different people.
This is
Like
where
the salary. the salary wouldn't be big from every person, but then obviously once you get all of them, then it all adds up, you know.
Exactly. That's kind of blown like an idea for me. Is like working on my business or whatever, like the business that I'm working in. There's so much things that I'm like kind of learning from a business perspective, and I'm getting like really good insight, and I kind of like document it. So we act as like the middlemen who like do like the background work and the stuff that people wouldn't see until
Yeah.
like they were actually exposed to it. And you're like, oh shit, you do like all of this stuff, like bloody hell. So, and it is stressful. Like it's made me not depressed, but you know, like, it's given me very down moments when I first started because I'm like, fucking hell, like this is what real life is like. But it's made me think, if you were to have like your own middleman company or management company and get out to clients who want to do projects and you manage them for them, you can make stonks. You can make so much stonks, bro.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. But people always clown on like builders and stuff, but the building
Bro,
company like builders actually make a decent amount of money. Like if you're a skilled worker, like I'm earning the wage of someone called a laborer,
yeah,
like a laborer.
labor, yeah,
So someone, so I'm earning the wage of like a helper basically, because I'm not a skilled worker.
nah,
I have like I've been working for the past 3 years, but it's not been consistent. I maybe have like 4 months of work like experience. That's nothing.
nah. These people be doing it
But
for.
like, but these people that are like specialized in certain crafts, they earn easy like £200 a day.
That's bro. That's what I'm saying. You can't mock people that are grinding on these building sites. Like for example, Mustad, yeah, doing bathroom specialist, whatever. He didn't start off
Yeah,
like
that
that, and
man
he,
earn
bro,
peas, fam.
bro, he's obviously over like 6 figures a year. Yeah, I'm like, fucking, this is stonky wonkies, brother.
Yeah,
You just gotta hone your craft, and it's like people that look down upon them people that are bricklaying or just like whatever. That's your
bro,
introduction,
bricklaying actually pays peas. It's
bro.
actually mental how much bricklaying actually
People
pays.
that mock on it are the same people that are working in Sainsbury's or whatever. I'm
I've
like,
tried, I've tried bricklaying and it's actually really hard.
I was gonna say that, bro. Do you think average Joe can go do that and build the foundations of a house or like lay a wall in a house? That's impossible for them. They would know
Me
where to
and this
start.
fucking, me and this guy 2 years ago, me and this Ukrainian bunny,
Hmm.
me and him built a wall. We knocked a wall down, laid like concrete on the floor, and then pushed the wall further. There, there was this house we were working for, and these people were like, "Oh well, technically our land is up to here." So they literally were moving their wall by about like maybe 2-3 meters forward.
Hmm.
But that's still like 2-3 meters like
That's a lot
bigger.
of
Your
work.
garden, whatever, yeah. But it's like we had to knock down this whole brick wall, like lay a foundation at the bottom of it, and then build a brand new wall just for that couple meters.
Hmm.
Bruv, when I tell you this, I tried bricklaying myself at one point. No, 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 it's really hard. I was just the Donny that was just bringing the bricks to the guy, and the guy was like placing them and putting the
But
grout
you're watching
in the
though.
thing. Yeah, I mean, I was walking with the bricks, so it's like 8 hours a day walking with at work sites usually use those
Like the
you know the laundry
bags. Yeah.
baskets, no, the laundry
Oh.
baskets, like the big like the plastic ones,
Yeah. Yeah. No. No. No.
bro. One of them, like you bring like one of them. I at one point had to use a wheelbarrow because bro, I was dying.
Yeah. Of
But
course.
it's like one of those fucking like easy one of those uh easy one of those plastic fucking containers full of bricks, easy 50-60 kilograms.
And you gotta do
carry
multiple.
50 carry 50-60 kilograms for 8 hours a day, mate. You're saying multiple, I'd be doing 100-150 of
Hmm.
them a day, bro. Once me and my dad at a job, there's this thing called MOT,
Yeah.
which is like, it's not the car thing,
No.
it's it's actually I don't know. It's like this gravel thing. Um, it's like this gravel mixed with sand, mixed with I'll just send you a picture, yeah. I'll just send you a link to like where like you could buy it so you can look for yourself. It's like rocks mixed with gravel mixed with sand.
Oh yeah.
It's like
What it's
this
called?
thing that you dash. It's MOT. So it's what you dash onto like into a hole,
Mm.
and then you use this like machine that like flattens it and like compresses it and makes it really hard, and that's the basis of your foundation.
Yeah.
That's how you create a foundation. That's like the first layer of your foundation. So you're taking, because obviously ground like erodes and stuff, and it like it'll fuck up and shit. So you got to put this hard stuff down so like your foundation won't move down basically, because concrete's heavy, so it will push down onto the earth and your foundation will fall in it.
Hmm.
So me and my dad had 3 jumbo bags of that. A jumbo bag is a ton,
Well, wait, what?
1 ton. Me and my dad carried 3 jumbo bags from the front of the house through the house into the garden and dashed on the floor. 3 tons.
How long did that take? Like hours, bro.
The whole day basically, almost. Yeah, we worked for like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, was this like last week Saturday then?
No. This is a couple years ago now.
Oh, oh.
But
Bro, I mean,
that's just one of the jobs I've had to do. Like
there's. I'm
as a
not gonna
bonus.
lie. There's probably a lot your dad can teach me, like for being on a site or just things to generally know. Because obviously, I'm in like a completely different industry, but I would love to be on a site even just for like a week and just be like, oh shit, there's so much more that goes on that you just don't know about.
That is it's also different like what kind of job you're doing. So like
Yeah.
obviously I've worked at a lot of different sites. So like right now I'm not working really on the building site right now. It's literally just a normal house
Yeah.
where we've ripped the carpet off it and we're
Yeah.
just painting it again. But you'll get jobs where you go in and like some places there's points where you even have to like physically destroy like walls and houses and stuff because
Yeah.
people want like an open plan kitchen or something, for example.
Hmm.
That's when it gets mental and stuff. Or like probably garden jobs are probably like, if it's nice weather, my favorite. If it's not, then I remember during the World Cup time, I had a job, and we had to make this like this woman wanted like an extended patio on her garden,
Yeah.
but it wasn't wood, it was like bricks. So what we had to do is we had to dig out like a 50, maybe like a 70 centimeter like hole down. So
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like a lot, but you have to like dig out this whole thing across this garden. It's like 3 4 meters long probably. And you have to dig that all out, then dash all of that fucking MOT thing I told you about, and then you have to bring the bricks from the front of the house. So you have to bring the MOT from the front of the house to the back of the house because there's no access. You have to bring the bricks from the front of the house to the back of the house because there's no access. You now have to dig this hole out, dash the MOT thing in there, put the bricks on, and then like laying down and shit. Bruv, it was the World Cup summer, so do you remember how hot it was?
That was a good year.
Bro, that's probably one of the hardest like one of the most like physically straining times I had, because it's like we'd work like 5 6 hours straight a day because we'd have to go. It was a weird job as well because it was like an overtime job as well. So we'd go there like 4 o'clock and end at like 10,
Crikey.
like
So
at night.
that's a nighttime, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously it was like like middle of summer, so 10 o'clock is still like light outside, thankfully. But yeah, I've had a couple like interesting times at like building sites. I've learned a lot of things over my time. Like it's actually really useful like life skills.
Of course.
Like I know how to like decently paint a room now. I know how to like use like wood filler and stuff. I know how to use like silicone and stuff. It's like it all just adds up, you know. It's like when I eventually move into a house with like my wife or whatever down the line in like 10, 15 years, whatever it is. It's like if there needs to be like a refurb done, why am I gonna pay for someone to do it? Like I could just do it myself, innit? Or if
That's
there's
one
like
thing.
little like if there's little like problems around the house or whatever, I can.
I was gonna say there's like for me, like this is tying in what you've just said. having that knowledge and understanding of how things work, what work needs to go into it, and how much they would cost from a supplier perspective, like you're making someone pay for your services. When you go and ask for these people, like, oh, can I have XYZ done? And they come for like a quote of like 20,000 when the work should be roughly 13,000, you're like, whoa, hold on a minute, like I'm getting mugged off here. And that's one
Yeah.
thing, like I'm just kind of realizing at my own place, like when I make the shift into a different industry, which I will be doing like hopefully next year. I wanted it to be this year, but things happen, like coronavirus. But let's say next year, even though I'm going to be on like the same salary, blah blah blah, but I'm going to be like almost like kickstarting my career, but like even higher, but in the right industry, and I'm going to be like, oh shit, Casper, I can relate to you because I've been doing all of this stuff, but from a different perspective, and then it's just like, oh shit, just having that like experience really does help you 10 years in the line or something.
Yeah, I understand. And honestly, building like working on like a building site is probably like one of the best just life lessons.
You
Like
probably meet
honestly,
some
like
banging people there as well. Like,
yeah, I've met very interesting people along the way. I have met some very interesting people. That's true. But yeah, no, it definitely teaches like patience and a lot of patience, a lot. Bro, there's so many jobs I remember doing with my dad that I was just losing my mind. I hate doing something for like really long.
yeah,
And there was just one radiator, right? And it was so old and crusty that I had to take like a sharp like knife or something, and like the paint was coming off of it, so I had to like scrape the paint off of the paint that was coming off of the radiator. I then had to take sanding paper, sand it down till it was completely smooth so that I could paint it, and there were like no rough edges or whatever.
yeah.
That took me about 4 hours. Preparing to paint 4 hours because I had to take every little bit off. Because that was the kind of job where it's not like what I'm doing right now. It's like, oh, just a refresh. That was like a complete done up of the house. Like everything had to be like paying. Like it was a
Yeah.
job that like one house was being done for like 6 months. Here we're doing a house in like like a month. So it's like everything had to be like spotless, nice in there. And bro, it took me like 4 hours, bro. I actually wanted to fucking, bro. I was sanding my own fingers off. I was starting to fucking from all of the fucking sanding that I was doing with the sanding paper, right? Like genuinely, my fingers were starting to erode.
Yeah, they're also very extremely dangerous for people that have no clue what happens
Oh
on the
yeah,
site. Like you need to,
hundred
there is
percent.
so much pre-training before you can even like step on a site and say, oh, I'm gonna do this today. Like, no, you're really not gonna do anything. It
I
probably
wouldn't,
takes a
I
week of training
wouldn't,
at
I
least.
wouldn't trust a lot of people with a standing knife, bro.
Bro, don't get me
Them,
started.
them joints are so sharp.
Yeah, that's one thing my mum taught me. Like when she was working like in her whatever jobs, she like when she'd be unpackaging stuff. I was like, oh, what's this? And then she was like, don't play with it. It's proper sharp. Then when you start cutting things with it, you're like, wow,
Bro,
that
it
thing is
melts
sharp.
through things.
Yeah,
It's actually it's Beamer, bruv. It's M8 from Black Ops 2, bro. Like that's how much of a beamer that thing is. Like it cuts through anything as well, man. Like I was using a standing knife and I was cutting through carpet like it was butter, bro. Like honestly, because we had to take the carpet off, so I just had to like cut a bit of the carpet so that I could have like something to grab it, and then literally just rip it off the stairs.
yeah,
And literally, I'd just like not even applying force. I'd just fucking like make a line down the middle of the fucking
it's
step and just
effortless, man.
it's gone. Like they're so sharp. And yeah, it's just like oh mate. Especially when you're fucking using shit like I was using brother. I remember when I was using one of these jobs. I had a job. I had to smooth like a wooden floor with like a. So you have sanding paper, but you also
Yeah,
have like sanders, which are like actual like you put like a ring of like sanding paper on, and then you could also have a belt. Like you have different attachments and shit. But like I was using like a ring one, and then you have to like use like it's like really high like rotations per minute.
Yeah.
And bruv, this thing was just like it was like oh, it was so pleasing on the fucking floor. But you make one bad move and your finger's gone. And yeah, like shit like saws and don't get me wrong, like saws and chop saws and stuff. It's like that shit I don't touch that shit. I'm too scared. If I need like a bit of wood cut or whatever, mate, I'd just go to like the nearest carpenter I have near me, bro. Because I
just
do not trust myself with that shit.
just us talking is like bloom some ideas in my head. Just I'm like
That's
writing it
good.
down currently. I'm like, okay, this is some good stuff.
So it's about yeah.
Um,
Interestingly, we've managed to make this whole episode about just work. Really, it's quite nice.
building.
But
I quite like it, to be honest. I mean, better than coronavirus.
yeah, we've
Coronavirus.
been talking about the virus every episode. It's nice to switch up.
Like,
And to be fair, right now, I don't want to jinx anything like touch wood, but the coronavirus is doing more like more good for me than not, really. For personally, for me,
yeah.
like
What do you mean?
I like there's barely anyone walking around the streets and shit now. So it's like it's nice and peaceful. I get to work on time because no one's driving cars.
True.
I get on the bus for free. Uh,
It's perfect then.
obviously I'm not saying like the virus is a good thing, but like some of the precautions and stuff that have been put into place, like I personally follow all of the I have my own antibacterial gel, I wash my hands every time I get on and off public transport, I stay away from other people. But otherwise besides that it's blessed for me, like because of this I've now got a job as well. Because if not this whole lockdown stuff and I had to be back in London, I'd be sitting in halls right now. They're
Yeah,
fuck
you'd
all
be
to be
doing fuck all.
honest. Yeah, so I'm not saying it's a good situation, but I'm not complaining right now, which is good. I'm just going to work, doing my thing. I'm not walking around anywhere or anything. Just to work, back. Really it. But yeah, free transport's
It's
nice.
it's just simple life right now. Even though it's such dire moment.
Yeah, it's like sometimes it doesn't even really feel like we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Nah, definitely not.
I feel like it's become like almost like a normal thing now, which
It's scary to say in itself.
weird, but yeah.
Man, it's like for me, with all
Oh,
this like free time after work or whatever,
yeah,
it's like there's so much ideas I have for like business things or whatever that are just flowing through my head. And I'm like, well, where do I start? What do I need to do? I need to do so much stuff in the background, like to gain knowledge and skills. I'm like
yeah, but you
creating.
kind of can't do that with the virus around.
No, exactly. Like, I'm creating like an anxiety within myself. It's like, oh my god, no. I'm like, it will come. Just stay patient, young king. Stay patient. But like,
Facts.
it's just hard for me when someone like for me, I just want to do so much. I'm like, when I can't do what I would do in a day-to-day life, like going gym or whatever, or like
Yeah.
even just going out just for the sake of it. It's like when you're just alone with your thoughts for too long, you're like, I don't like this anymore.
Yeah. I mean, we are social animals. We need our
Or even like going to the pub.
communication.
I don't really go to the pub every week, but like it'd be nice to catch up with you in the pub with everyone else because that's what we would
Yeah.
do when we're all in London together. And when we are in London together currently, it's like, oh, can't do that. It's like, oh, what's the what's the point?
Yeah.
It's quite it's quite scary time. Well, not scary times, but like it's just different. Very restricted.
Yeah. This whole thing's fucked up like a lot of other things though. Like I'm happy with some parts of life, but then other parts, like for example, my housing next year is
Yeah,
like like we've like like we've been looking at houses and shit. Like I found a couple houses that I used to send to my mates and stuff. And like I'm like, okay, they look pretty nice. But it's like even if like there's lockdown right now, even if we want to go see the house, like well,
you're limited.
you're not gonna fucking sign a fucking contract to a house you haven't even seen in person.
Never do that. No.
So it's like, and then you need to go for a viewing, and no one's really give you a viewing because no one's really working, and people are scared because of this coronavirus shit. even if it's like even if they do let us get live viewings, no one's in Portsmouth, so someone's gonna have to travel down to fucking Portsmouth to go see the house. It's just fucking long and out, and then I don't want to get into the conversation of housing because it's like May tomorrow, and we still haven't got a house sorted. Where people have had houses sorted in like December, January.
Really?
That's when you should be sorting your house out, because that's when you like get the best deals and shit. Yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping that we just crack down and actually get our house sorted soon, because I'd like to know where I live next year. But yeah, in other news, my mom was well, not really forcing me, but she was um, like one day I'll just fucking, she just comes back from work, yeah, and like, I go say hi to my mom or whatever. Literally, the first thing, first thing she says to me, she's like, "Oh, now that you're working now," and I'm like, "Oh, she's like, "Oh, now that you're working, I'm making money." I'm like, "Oh, here we go." She could have asked me to pay rent or whatever. It's fair. And then she's like, "Now that you're working and making some money, maybe you should think about getting some driving lessons done." And I was like, "Oh, fucking hell." So my
With what
mom's
time?
fucking,
What can you do?
yeah, that too. But well, once I'm done with the job, I should have some time. But yeah, no, my mum's like imploring that I go do my driver's license, which is fair enough. So
Yeah.
like, I do want to get my driver's license. Don't get me wrong. So at the same time, I know it's not really a great approach, but I've always come to the conclusions like I'm not gonna have a car for the next couple of years of my life anyway. So what's the point of getting a driver's license? But I should probably do it
It
anyway as soon
it
as I can.
saves you money in the long run by having it because you'll have quote unquote experience by holding it for let's say like 3 years until you finish uni. Then when you go to insure your first car after your first job, you have 3 years of holding a license, so automatically you're above people who have 0 years and just passed.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's
even
fair enough. Yeah.
so even just paying out the money for the exam and everything, it's just that's
The
it
only
done.
The only annoying thing is, oh, pardon me, fuck it up. The only annoying thing is that I don't really have a car that I can train in. Both my mom and her boyfriend have automatic cars.
Ew, must be must be a bit of a not gonna say that. Not saying this word on
Must
video.
be a bit of what? Okay.
Can you guess?
Um, no, not really.
Oh, don't worry.
Okay. Um, yeah. Uh, so I don't really have a car that I can train in, so I was gonna suck.
Yeah, it,
I realistically need to pass my theory first as well, but doubt I can go do my theory since fucking driving centers are probably closed. So not much I can do there, can I?
nah. I mean, everything's on like literal lockdown, obviously, but there's so much like things that you just can't do. So I wouldn't be too vexed on it.
No, yeah. So hopefully once this like lockdown thing is regulated, I'll probably start getting a driver's license done.
Yeah, definitely. It, doing stuff like that is just gonna obviously help you in the future, and it kind of just saves a headache, a future headache.
But I don't really want to drive though. Like I like the thought, I like the thought of driving and being able to prison, but I feel like
You
I'm
don't
kind of
strike me as a
scared.
driver.
Cheers. It's because I've never driven, but also I feel like I'd be scared to drive. I feel like I'd just be paranoid that I'm gonna hit something or someone like
Nah,
at any point.
that I don't know how to. With that is more like lack of experience of driving. Obviously, you've never done it before, like on the road with people. But once you kind of get a grip for everything, you're like, oh.
But I
It's
feel
not
like my
scary.
first time I'd actually genuinely crash into someone just first time in the car. Like
Nah,
like the whole like clutch control and stuff. Like that shit confused the shit out of me.
nah.
Like I wouldn't
Trust,
even
you'll be
know where to
fine.
start.
It's not that deep.
For
Yeah,
I will
man.
get down at some point or another.
It's just hard times. Very hard times. And I mean, a lot of us in the same boat, but there's a lot of people that don't do much. They're just sitting at home doing fuck all.
I mean, me and you are in a very different boat compared to everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. It's ah man, just
Most people I know, they just sit at home and do nothing all day, really.
definitely
And it's not like they have any like jobs or anything, so
a lot of people don't.
just wasting time, really.
Yeah, exactly. There are a lot of people that just kind of, I don't know, what's the word? Just laze around.
Wither away.
Yeah, nah, I mean,
I
there's
mean,
so much.
effectively, if you're genuinely doing nothing during this time, you're actually just wasting time.
See, that's where my like anxiety comes in. I'm like, oh shit, I've got all this time that I always like quote unquote beg for or just
Exactly,
desire,
yeah.
and now that I have it, it's like, oh,
No,
okay,
what I do? Yeah.
yeah. And that's where like for me, there's so much things that I want to think about or start, and it's like actually, it's much harder than
That's why psychology is interesting to me. It's
yeah,
like even take this example. Like people hate to be occupied. Well, but then when you're not occupied, you wish you were occupied. So it's like at work or like at school, you'd be like, oh fuck this is long. Like I can't be asked. I just want to go home and chill. But then you get home and especially in a prolonged time, like even like a half term or something, it's like, right, I actually want to go back to school or work or whatever. Well, that's what's interesting to me. Is like people hate to be busy, but then when they're not busy, they hate that they're not busy. It's
it's a double-edged
it's
sword.
yeah, it's so like I don't know. It's just so interesting to me. It's like humans can't make their mind up. Like, but then there's obviously extreme like ends to both sides. Like you're either a workaholic where you literally can't not work, and then there's people that are just so lazy that just take benefits and not work a minute in like a week, for example. And
Must be
that's
nice.
no, it's not. Clearly, from what we see, like, would you like after this? Like, what you're in lockdown now? We're in lockdown now for like over a month now.
Yeah,
Bruv, can you imagine sitting at home every day doing literally nothing except maybe like watching TV or
that's
something?
what I'm saying.
That's what this lockdown is, and bruv, how can you do that day in day out for years, bro? I would go mental. I'd go crazy, bro. Like I'd be begging someone for a job. I love to procrastinate. Don't get me wrong, but it's like procrastination is valid if you're still gonna do something.
That
It's like
was
sometimes you're like, oh, I can't be bothered, but then you still do things at the end of the day. But you can't be not bothered to do nothing.
nah. If you're gonna do nothing, then that's on you. Like you can't. For us too, we're doing stuff like it's just you gotta leave it to them. Because
Yeah,
these people, man, need to fix up. Need
that's
to
true.
fix up because I don't know. It's such a hard time for me. It's like not saying like oh I'm going through shit blah blah blah, but it's like there's so much stuff that I want to do or like start or just even think of that maybe not other people do, and it's just like that makes me proper stressed. So then after work I'm like oh shit what the fuck do I actually do? And then before you know it it's like bedtime again. It's like midnight. It's like oh it's like I'm fucked.
Yeah, just a common case of loathing around. So I mean, sometimes it's nice to do that. Like sometimes after work, I'm just not even sometimes I'm not even bothered to like even do anything like play or whatever, like play games or just do whatever. Like sometimes after work I'm so tired I'm just like I'm honestly just gonna fucking watch something on Netflix and probably go to sleep. Like I sometimes it's nice to chill, but sometimes you come back and you're just like,
Refreshed.
right, I wanna do something with my life now,
Yeah,
but what do
exactly.
I do?
That's that was me because like I don't know if you want to start kind of like rounding off the podcast, but um like not I don't know if it was last week. I can't remember now. Not last week, but the week before and a part of last week. I was literally after work. I was banging out PS4 till like bedtime pretty much with, and I'd watch like a movie with Mel, and then it's like, oh shit. Then after I stopped doing it, I'm like, what the hell do I do now?
Yeah,
I just don't.
I suppose.
And then obviously being in the social media era, you see all these people doing everything, having like these mad luxurious lives and whatever. And it's like, oh, I want that. That's obtainable. I'm pretty sure it is somehow.
Yeah, I think this is a nice place to end it.
Yeah. Do you want to do your ding dong notification bell? Leave
Yeah.
us.
Right, well, thank you guys for listening to this podcast all about work and more precisely about construction, and that's kind of just like a just like a an insight into what it's like on both sides, the actual building part, and then the people that design the well not design but tell you to do the stuff.
Yeah.
So you've got the
That's
painter
mad.
and the one that tells you to paint. You've got a perspective from two people that very contrasting but work in the same field. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, make sure to leave a like, share the video, subscribe, and ding dong that notification bell. Because you know what rumors say, if you ding dong that notification bell, you ding dong my notification bell. And yeah, well, yeah, once again, thanks for watching. We are on the road to 40 subscribers right now.
Man, like,
Uh, Funny enough, that's not a big number, but you know,
just
it's more
baby,
than zero.
baby
It's baby
steps.
steps. We are currently on what 70 something videos. Not too bad. It's pretty
Mm.
decent.
Yeah, no, I mean,
So
doesn't happen overnight.
day by exactly. So day by day we get there. But yeah, without too much more rambling on, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, share, comment, and peace.
Luke bringing blood in the water.